Hey folks, positive poll. Well, it is Thursday, January 21st, 2021. Should we worry about what Trump's doing right now? Will it mount to a hill of beans when the day of the Lord arrives? You know, I remember watching as a young kid. One of my memories was watching Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, right? Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Amazing video. A lot of the filming took place out in Utah. I was in Utah after I got back from the Canary Islands. This would have been around 1975. One of the few pictures I have is myself with my little brother. And you can clearly see there's something not right with me in the picture. But that's neither here nor there. But I remember watching that movie, and at the height of the chase, when they were trying to track down Butch and Sundance, they called upon an old Indian tracker. I forget what his name was in the movie. But when you watched this tracker and the whole posse that was behind him, you know, as well, at least me as a kid, I was in amazement that they were able to track them down so easily. And this was all done through this Indian guide who knew the land, who knew, I mean, who knows what he knew? He knew something, right, folks? And then you come to that fateful scene where Butch and Sundance are cornered. They've got nowhere to go. They're up on the ledge. And hundreds of feet below is a rushing stream with rocks and boulders. And I forget who suggests that they jump. I think it was Redford. I could be wrong. And then what happened? Newman said, "Hey, I can't swim." And then next thing you know, it was, that fateful decision. Stay and be captured or jump. So right now, my analogy is America is cornered right now. They're at the edge of the cliff. And certain individuals within America, their days are numbered. Now, I've always stated racism is spawned from the demonic realm. If you put me on an island with a person of color, a person of Hispanic descent, a person of maybe Native American descent, and any other individual, your two choices would be work together or what? Essentially work against each other. But either way, the goal is survival. Now, we were told yesterday that the new president of the United States, one of his main goals is to deal with white supremacy, deal with domestic terrorism. See, they were telling you that all the beefed up security for the inauguration, all the efforts they went through to put up roadblocks, to install fencing, probably, who knows, the technology that was being used. And look, nothing happened. But if what he said didn't send chills down your spine, that somehow white people, white supremacists, are the main cause of all the problems in the world as it relates to racism, people being held back, being taken advantage of. I think that you might be misled. Now, it's clear that I'm really getting to some certain people out there. But see, look, they use their little pissant YouTube perp agents to come at me. Because remember, they're faceless, nameless nobodies, folks. And that's what America's become. A nameless, faceless, cowardly nation. Because, for one, we know the baby boomers, they got duped. Let's give them a break. But now, whatever you want to call it, Generation X, here we are. There's quite a few people and doing the best that they can to say, hey, look, we need to slow down here. So, you know, something's not right. As each day goes by, it's looking like what we've been told, what we've been taught, is exactly the opposite. So now that America is cornered, they're at the edge of the cliff. You know, what's the answer? Just jump and end it all? Or do you turn around and stand up like a man and a woman, like a human being, and say, you know what? We understand that there's a more powerful force that's working against humanity day and night to destroy a certain group of individuals. And if there was ever an 11th hour, if there was ever a moment to turn around and say charge and fight fire with fire, this is your moment there, Mr. and Mrs. America. Now me, I'm sorry, you know, I woke up way too late, folks. But they could not dispose of their dirty laundry. Here it is, now it's 5 years later. I've been on this, social media journey since the ending of 2015 as it relates to my targeting concerning satanic ritual abuse. And the only thing that's got me through is my heavenly creator and his son. Now, they've never ever appeared before me. I've never had voice to skull. I never had the voice of God tell me to do this or do that. But I do understand that part of prophecy as it relates to Joel chapter 2 verse 28 and Acts chapter 2:17, the pouring out of the Spirit on all flesh. I understand that this is the time we're in, but it's not open-ended. And I understand some obscure person will get the word of the Lord and be compelled to share that. But now we're transitioning way beyond all of what's taken place for the past 4 years. Now, I'm gonna stop there and get with the main presentation. Now, here's my 160-year-old Bible, King James Bible, that's been falling apart. I got it duct taped together. When it first fell apart and broke in two, this was actually the very page that was left on one half. Ecclesiastes, the vanity of riches, of children in old age. And so every time I pick up this particular half of the Bible, I have to look at chapter 6. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it's common among men. And you can read on. So with that being said, if God were omnipresent in all our lives, you would think that none of us would be in some of these sticky positions we're in, right, folks? But remember, part of having faith through grace is understanding is, look, this divine creator is not going to come down here and hold your hand and start telling you what to do, because then your free will would be taken away, wouldn't it, folks? So what I find interesting is we do know Moses was the last individual to see God face to face, to speak with God face to face. It says it in Scripture. We know when you come to Samuel, it tells us in the King James Bible that the word of the Lord was precious in those days. Okay? Right here's the other half, chapter 3. And the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. Now, when you look at a Tanakh says, in those days, the word of the Lord was rare. Prophecy was not widespread. Now, for 4 years, we've listened to numerous people that claim to receive the word of God. And I'm not showing this to challenge Mike 4:4 or Jeff Byerly. I'm just saying that obviously, if anybody's been paying attention the last 4 years, these two individuals are in that group of individuals that claim to receive the word of the Lord, claim to receive prophetic utterances. And can we say that some of what's been said has transpired, has manifested into the physical world we live in? Well, yes. But for the most part, not really. So what I want to do is, I woke up in the middle of the night. My implants were redlining. I was sweating. I got up and I said, what the hell? I'm not going to just sit here and stew over my problems. Let's see if something encouraging shows up on YouTube. And I check my email, I check YouTube, and lo and behold, I have to see this. Now, this is what I will tell you folks that are standing on the edge of the cliff, not knowing whether to jump or turn around and stand up like a God-fearing Christian and beat back these Satanists, beat back their lazy, lying, lizard disinfo agents. And again, one of these faceless, nameless nobodies, they're trying to turn the tables on me somehow. And again, I remember I've been beaten up on Richard Bruce for years. So over 2 years ago, I've made statements, and I'm going to dig them up. All right, just to show who's on the up and up, who's on the level. Because in the end, folks, I don't know any of you people out there. I can't return to America to help anybody. I'm not going to go back up there and get set up, all right, or have another hit put out on me, all right? But be careful what you buy into. Now, for the disheartened and disillusioned, the latest from ESETI, meaning James Gilliland. It's far from over. While in meditation, Jesus came in and dropped a few things to contemplate. Yes, he is real, and just because we talk to other higher dimensional beings, Palladians, Orion Council of Light, Sirians, Andromedans, and a host of other beings, it does not mean we are not in contact with the known masters of Earth. For the record, Jesus was a name given to him by the Greeks. It translates son of Zeus. Jesus said, wait, 5 days will be revealed. Do not give up hope. Things will take time. Major announcements will come forward. All the way into the end of March or April. We asked how many people actually are in support of Biden administration. He said, meaning Jesus said, around 10%. Some are in denial of their wounds, traumas, and anger towards powerful men. Many have been socially engineered to believe in a false image of Trump. Others fall into the category of dark hearts, those who lust for power, wealth at the expense of others, along with those closest and dependent on them. All right, so I don't want to continue because it goes on and on and on. Now, I'll apologize now, folks. I'm not much of a leader. My situation's pretty dire health-wise right now because I can't receive proper medical help due to these implants. And very interesting, I put another video up on BitChute, and I made sure that my cover photo was properly adjusted so they couldn't crop out what you're not supposed to look at. And amazingly so, BitChute published the video. It's on YouTube now too, the last one. And somehow almost 200 people came out of nowhere to watch that video. And that never happens. And granted, I only have 26 subscribers on BitChute. Now that doesn't mean that only 26 people would possibly check in with me. But again, they tried to crop the photo I used as my cover. And again, I was able to get it back up there, doing a little tug of war. Now, I thought BitChute was supposed to be where all the rabble-rousers were going to be corralled, right? All the orphan YouTube people that can't no longer tell the truth on YouTube. Because remember, it's nothing but a make-believe fairy tale land within social media. Yes, folks, there's real people sharing real things, but at the end of the day, in the situation we're in, how are you going to spend your time? You know, watching someone whip up a spaghetti recipe, watching someone make snowballs? Come on. So, I tell you, you know, I want to give everybody a chance. And this has been the most outrageous thing that I've seen come out of VSETI yet. So, again, folks, I'm only the dumb satanic ritual abuse survivor who's hanging around being a pain in the ass to everybody. A gigantic social media gang stalking perp army against me. And look, you people are Johnny come lately. Where were you 2-3 years ago? And look, they're all gone. All right, they're all jump ship. Remember, folks, when rounds are flying overhead, when rockets are exploding, and you jump in the foxhole, just make sure you look around who's next to you.